familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I have a video topic that I've been thinking about doing for a while, but I didn't know if it was going to go well or not, but I figured, what the heck, who cares? It is what it is. I am not a malicious person, nor do I do things on purpose or to harm anything or anyone. So if you have been following me here for a while, you know who I am. And if you don't, I'm sure somebody will tell you what kind of person I am. But I am here, as you guys can see for the title, to share with you guys a few palettes that I do have in my collection that are controversial. And one may shock you because it is new to my collection. There is some here that I did not purchase with my own money. These were gifted to me, so I had no control over that, and I am appreciative of it, and I will use them. I probably won't use them on camera to showcase them. They may end up in some sort of pan those eyeshadows or a panning project, but they're more acceptable in that type of environment or content than just to try to show you guys my top favorite or my favorite color stories or my favorite shadows in this palette, you know what I mean? So you'll eventually see these in something like that, and it is what it is. The money has been spent and I have them, so I do want to use them. I've schooled those that have control over what to bring into my collection, so they are well aware, and hopefully we won't have this anymore, but it is what it is. So I'm here to share that with you guys today. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Project Pan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with the palettes. Now, I'm not doing this video to showcase these palettes. I'm doing it more for transparency, so you guys are well aware of what I have in my collection. So if there is a situation where in some of my Project Pans, when I leave it to fate to pull things out of my collection, you are not shocked that you did not know these were in my collection. So that's one of the main reasons I also wanted to do this video. I don't like to, cover things up for you guys. I've been very upfront and blunt about things, my stance on certain things. I know there's this whole thing about canceled culture. I feel like for me personally, if I don't want to spend my money on a brand, I'm not going to do it. Have I been attacked for that in the past? Yes. It's interesting how certain individuals attacked me for that, how I couldn't separate the art from the artist, and yet now, after they have grown due to these individuals, now they have come back and said they no longer support them. So I just did it early on enough in my YouTube channel where I didn't have to worry about it now that things have come out to light about certain individuals. So, and I do have a few people in my personal life that have asked me, and I've told them about individuals, and they've actually come back to me now years later and thanked me for not allowing them to spend their dollars on certain individuals. So it can go both ways. It can go both ways. And I've never judged anyone. I've never stopped watching someone. I never criticized anyone for what they spend their money on. You work hard for your money. You do what you want with it. So long as you're not harming yourself or others, you're fine. You're fine. You're good in my book. I'm not going to sit there and attack you for makeup. It's okay. So I have 4 brands, I think, here. 4 different brands. Some of them are specific palettes, and some of them are the actual brand as a whole that I do own in my collection. And I will share with you guys which ones I did spend my money on and which ones I did not. So let's just get started. So I'm going to start off with the first controversial brand, and you guys are well aware because I did state that I would no longer support this brand, and that is the KVD one. I have a whole drawer full of palettes from her, and you guys can clearly see I have basically a whole drawer full of liquid lipsticks from this brand. They have since parted ways with Kat Von D. Kat Von D is no longer Kat Von D Beauty. This is KVD Vegan Beauty, I believe that's what it's called. She's no longer part of it, and I know some are going back to supporting the brand, which is fine. I have yet to purchase anything from it since it has rebranded. There hasn't been anything to entice me. I haven't purchased from this brand specifically in over 2 years at this point, and the last thing that I did buy, I believe, was this palette, the Satan Center palette. I thought that their formula was great. I really did. She was one of those brands that did the colorful out there kind of things that was a faux pas in the industry at the time. I can get the same concept out of indie brands. So I really liked her color stories. I loved her formula. I loved the variation of things, the way that it made me think out of the box. So I do own a whole drawer. So you will probably see these coming up in Project Pans. I am not shy about it. I've never been shy about this brand. You guys are well aware, but I have not purchased from them, and I don't know if I will And not because I'm not wanting to spend my money on there, it's just my preferences have changed and I don't have anything that this brand has come out with at this point that I've wanted to get. Next up is anything to do with Jaclyn Hill. Now, I know that she's very controversial, but my thing is, you can't believe everything on the internet. And I'm not saying that I'm naive and I'm not going to believe everything, but I also have to think for myself. And I do think for myself. And to a point, I think that certain things she did are incorrect, but then there's other times where I feel like because she's a woman, she's constantly being attacked, and I don't like that either. So I feel like I'm torn both ways with her. I did get the Vault collection. I remember purchasing the Vault collection back in the summer of 2018. I remember I wasn't even living in this house yet. It was still being remodeled, and I bought the whole Vault, and I didn't know there was a whole controversy with it. I didn't know anything about the batch codes. Like, I am not that type of person that needs to tear somebody down, and I'm not saying that people were doing it on purpose either. I'm talking solely about this. I'm not talking about her lipsticks or her own brand because I didn't buy anything from there. But I'm talking about these Vault things. I just feel like sometimes when you don't like somebody, it doesn't matter what that person does or doesn't do, you're still going to not like that person. And I know all of us have gone through that where you've known one person and the person could go and give away everything that they have and try to do good in the world, and you will still attack that person. It's just, there are certain people that are just like that. And I didn't know when I bought this that there was this whole big controversy. I never shared them on my channel because I just didn't want to deal with the controversy. I did buy them. I also got this year. This is the most recent thing. This is her volume 2 palette, and this is in my Shop My Stash. I love this color story, and you guys know that I am such a sucker for knowing things on my own. And I heard that this was such a great formula, and something just kept telling me, you want to try it, you want to try it, you want to try it. And I did. I want to try it. I've been wearing this during this whole entire month so far. I'll let you guys know what I think about it at the end of my Shop My Stash, but this is the most recent thing I've gotten from her. I am not one to buy everything of hers. I haven't bought anything from her own specific brand. I never fell for the lipsticks. You guys know all I care about is eyeshadow, so she didn't come out with eyeshadow, so I wasn't jumping on that bandwagon. So I did not get involved in any of the lipstick things. I didn't do any of the highlighters. I don't own any of her brushes. The only thing I really own are her eyeshadow products. These are the eyeshadow products, and it's kind of like it's meshing with my background. But I have these. You see, all these 3 are in my Shop My Stash this month. You're going to see them. I bought them. I want to use them. I love the color story of them. I am separating her from the brand. Do I love everything Morphe? No. Do I'm always bashing Morphe? Yes. I am telling you right now. I am here telling you guys that as much as I bash Morphe, there are certain things that, yes, I do want to try for them just for myself. Certain formulas. The Jaclyn Hill formula I do find is a bit different from the normal Morphe formula. So I kind of like these better. I like to have a good understanding of many formulas in the industry, so that's why I buy a lot of these things, and the color story entices me, and these are not that expensive, so I don't find them to be breaking the bank. But I know where people are, and I know how people can go both ways with it. But I just want to let you guys know, yes, I own the whole Vault. I own this one. I own her first one. So you will be seeing those on my channel as well. The last 2 that I have are 2 that I did not spend my money on. I did not spend my money on at all, but I know there were controversial ones. The first one that I have is the Wet n Wild. This one was a gift from one of you guys. A subscriber sent this over to me, and I have yet to try it out. As you guys can see that plastic is still on here. I'm just waiting for the moment for this to come out. The reason why this was controversial is because it mimicked the Morphe James Charles palette. I don't own that. I wasn't interested in that at all. But I'm kind of happy that I lost my interest in that color story because I have it in this one and I prefer it in this one. The reason why this one was controversial is because it literally mimicked that palette, with the exception of the sizes of the actual pans. Just that the setup is a little bit different, but basically it's verbatim. No different than what Alter Ego does, or what's the other one? Makeup Revolution does. It's no different. And there are other brands that are controversial because some people don't like the fact that they're getting ripped off, and I do understand that because it's a lot of hard work you put into your design and your color story, so on and so forth. But there are some of us that can't afford that, and we want to have that same similar effect on our eyes. So this is a very controversial, this was at least. I don't know if people even remember this. I don't even know if this even exists, if you can even purchase it. But I do own it, and this was gifted to me. I think this was the first Wet n Wild palette that I have. And then I bought the Jungle Rock one. But this is the only one that I had at the moment. And I'm grateful. I like it. I'm going to use it. You're going to see it. And if you don't like it, you can skip that video if you want. Last but not least, this was a gift for my birthday. And this was a palette that I contemplated on sharing with you guys, not sharing with you guys. I didn't know what to do with it, but I came to a conclusion and I wanted to share with you guys because of the meaning behind it. And I'm going to explain to you guys before I share with you guys this palette. You guys know that my birthday was during the summer and my oldest is getting older. So dad let her pick something off of Ulta's website. He gave her a budget and she knows my taste. She knows what I like and she wanted to pick something that she knew that I would enjoy. So she picked out this specific product. They did not know anything about the brand. They did not know anything about any of it. Now, obviously Mr. Man does. Mr. Man is well aware. He knows going forward now when and if he does allow her to choose something again, not to let her go towards this brand, or I shouldn't say this brand, this collab person. But I don't think it'll be an issue because I think he no longer is going to be on the website. So anyway, so she did give this to me and I'm very thankful that she knew what I liked as far as colors and product and things. So I didn't tell her anything. I did not tell my oldest not to purchase from this person anymore, not to do anything with this person. I'm sure you guys are well aware who I'm talking about. So I did my own take on it. I told her, since this was the first product that she picked out for me as far as my makeup, let's customize it together. Let's decorate it together. So we decorated it together. I renamed the palette because in her honor, since she gave it to me. So that's what it's being called in my makeup collection. And if it ever comes up in a Shop My Stash, if it ever comes up in a Pan Those Eyeshadows, that's what the palette is being called. I am not going to reference it by its actual name because I do not want to, and I have since gotten rid of everything of him and now I have this one. So I just want to let you guys know so you guys can see what it is. It is now called the Little Lady palette. We decorated it, we named it together. Everything on it that had to do anything with that individual is no longer on this palette. As you guys can see, even on here, it is gone. I have yet to use it. She chose it for me. Nowhere on here does it say his name anymore, which I appreciate. I haven't tried it yet and I can't bring myself to return it. I couldn't bring myself to return it or give it away because it was something she chose. It's something an innocent child chose without putting any type of malicious thought to it or knowing anything about the industry. And I did not want to tell her, obviously she's too young to know all that stuff. It has nothing to do with her at this point. She's not into makeup. She doesn't have money to spend money. So there was no point in me explaining things to her. So I told Mr. Man, just don't buy from this dude. And he's like, all right, fine, I won't do it anymore. I won't let her. But I did. We took advantage and now this is called the Little Lady palette. So if you guys ever hear me reference the Little Lady palette, this is what this is. That's what I call my oldest Little Lady. I have Little Lady, Little Man, and Little Miss. So you guys are well aware those are my kids' names. So this is the Little Lady palette. So you guys know I have this. This is the only thing that has anything remotely to do with that man. So I don't want anybody to be shocked if it ever comes up in any kind of video as far as panning video. Panning or Shop My Stash, those are what I'm gonna keep that towards because I don't want to showcase it any more than it needs to be showcased. But I do want to show it love because it came from somebody with love, if that makes any sense. All right, you guys, now that I am sweaty and I don't know if I even should post this video, I'm done. I don't know if any of these are available. You guys know where to find these palettes. I'm like kind of nervous to even link these because I don't want anybody to think I'm promoting them, and I'm not. It's just I need to be straightforward and upfront with you guys because I'm not about the high school type of playing games. I'm too much of a grown-up to do those kind of games. So I just want to let you guys know this is what I own. Yes, you will see them. If it offends you in any way, don't watch that video that entails these products. They will probably be most likely in Project Pan or in Shop My Stashes, and that is the end of that when it comes to these palettes. I try not to showcase these unless it's something where I'm doing this, where I'm telling you guys, you know, I have these palettes, so don't be offended by them. I'm sure we all at one point have had this, and I don't want to throw these away and waste money. That's even worse. That would make me feel worse than right now. So just want to tell you guys no. So thank you guys so much for watching and understanding and why I did this. I will put more videos right over here for your enjoyment. Until then, see you later, guys.